Everyone's waiting for a chip or a digital ID or some thing that gets scanned at the checkout line. But what if the mark of the beast isn't something that's going to happen someday? It's happening right now. People are taking it and they don't even know it. Because Revelation never said it's solely about technology. It's about worship. So the question isn't, will you take the mark someday? The question is, whose mark do you carry today? Revelation 13 says that the beast requires everyone to get a mark on their hand or their forehead, and nobody can buy or sell without it. For centuries that sounded impossible, but now we're seeing that take shape all around us. Blockchain technology that tracks every transaction, microchips that can be implanted and store health data, other sorts of data, Neuralink, which literally connects to our minds. It's not that these are the mark, but it shows us how close we are to a world where tracking our buying and selling isn't just possible, it's normal. But this isn't new. Deuteronomy 6, God told his people to bind up on their hands and their foreheads his word as a sign of obedience and love for him. In Revelation, Satan just counterfeits that. The beast marks minds and hands too. But instead of God's truth in your mind and God's will in your actions, the world system controls both. That's what makes this so dangerous. It's not just about a device. It's about allegiance. Think about what we just went through in the past 5 years. Suddenly, overnight, everything stopped. And you couldn't buy, travel, work unless you complied. That wasn't the mark, but it showed how quickly people, because of fear, would trade freedom for safety and would trade faith for convenience. That's the real danger. Not a needle, not a chip, but a world where obedience to God is traded for dependence on the system. Because before the mark ever controls hands or foreheads, it captures the mind and the heart. It's ultimately about worship. Who do you trust? Who do you serve? And people are waiting on a barcode or a blockchain, but the Bible tells us that that line is drawn long before that. Every time we value comfort over conviction or let culture define truth over Christ, we're training ourselves to bow to the beast. But when we fear God above man, when we choose truth, even when it costs us, that's the mark of the Lamb. Ephesians 1:13 says that when you believed, you were sealed with the Holy Spirit. That's God's mark, the real one. Revelation 14 shows those standing with the Lamb, his name on their forehead. No barcode, no chip, just his presence. The beast marks through control. God marks through communion. One binds you to fear. The other binds you to freedom. So if you belong to Jesus, you don't have to fear the mark of the beast, because heaven has already marked you as his. Maybe you've been worried about taking the mark of the beast, but the truth is you show your allegiance every day by what you trust and who you obey. The question isn't, will you take the mark of the beast? It's, whose mark do you already bear?